So in this video, we're going to take a look at a recent game that I designed with Blender. But to really design this game, I borrowed, because to learn about the logic blocks for Blender, I used the website CG Born to help me a lot with figuring out, how do you program an object to move? How do you program something to disappear? How do you create like a health bar, or how do you make your character shoot or character bone rigged? How do you make your character move? How do you add biomechanics to your character? But in this game, I developed a game from a few ideas, and it's kind of constructive. So I give credit to the idea process for CG Born, because they really helped me figure out how to program the software properly. Blender's great if you want to figure out how to make game animations or make animations not with limited programming, with small amounts of programming. You don't have to have like years of programming to figure it out. So here's my game. The goal of this game was to identify the lumbar vertebrae. So this is the lumbar vertebrae. I'm pointing my mouse at it. We have a thoracic, we have a sacral, and we have a cervical vertebrae. So the idea is, here's a green car, here's a maze of blocks, and borrowing a few programming ideas from CG Born, if the car has to go through the blocks to find the right vertebrae. So how we got the image in here wasn't from CG Born. I looked up another tutorial on how to put its images as planes add-on, and I'll show you that in another part of this video. But let me show you what happens when I hit P. So here we have a green health bar and a green car. So I'm driving through the maze, and hey, I hit one of those boxes. So my health diminishes, and say I want to go, and say by some chance I'm just looking, that's a cervical vertebrae, so I lose more life, but then I click here and you win the game. If we take a look here, I just expanded upon CG Born's view of using different screen layouts with different programming devices and I think game properties. But another example is, let me go back and say I lose the game. So say I hit all these boxes, and my health diminishes greatly. I can't find the right vertebrae, and there will be a question, and then I have game over. So there will be a question that will be like, so where is the lumbar vertebrae, or find the lumbar vertebrae. So that is just a little bit about the game that I designed, but that's not the main reason why I made this video. I made this video to show you a new feature that Blender, I'm not sure if it's Blender that made it, I'm not sure who really made it or designed it, but how you can put a game that you design on a website, and I will open a website that I have, say you're doing website design. So what I want to do is go to Blend4Web.com. I think that's the URL link. If not, then I'll attach the link. I added an add-on. I added the zip file. If you go in under user preferences and add the zip file according to the type of software, whether you have 2.74 or 2.75, it's an add-on under user preferences. You just have to download it from Blend4Web.com. I think that's the right URL link. So say I want this as a Blend4Web HTML. So I have that already installed, and I'm going to call it latest game for website development. This is just a name that I'm calling it, and then I want to click just export. So what I'm going to do is latest game for website. Alright, so we got this game file, this HTML, on our desktop from exporting it via the user preferences via via the Blend4Web HTML. So we click on it, and then Firefox comes up, and this comes up. The thing is, if you want to figure out how to like make that actual character move, it doesn't specifically move it. I think it requires further programming. Something I'm not too sure of, but this is definitely good. Say you want to view a product. There's things that you can read on Blend4Web, and you can look at how to actually program the character and make it move. I think once you have it up here. So my main goal is just to show you how to embed it on, say, a website, and what I'm using is WordPress. So what I'm going to do is go to posts and then add a new post, and I'm going to call this test, and then I'm going to go to add media. I'm going to click to upload files. I'm going to click select files, and then I click latest. So latest game for website development. So it's loading, and I already have a copy here. So let's click insert into post. So this is the way that you insert it. Now what I want to click on is publish, and then I want to view it and click visit site. So I go to home. This is just a website that I developed on my own time, and it just is. It's intended to. It has like anatomy models on there. I'm trying to add games to it. I'm trying to add like trying to reach all ages to have a love for the topic of anatomy, and I think it's just a perfect tool to have. So here's the test. So here's an interactive that I have using a megavisor. You can zoom in and out of for an object. So that's just the type of plugin. But so I click on this file, and it's a Blend4Web Player. It's the same object that's going to come up previously, and yet again here we have it. So that is just a better example of how to apply it to a website. So in this part of our video, for that game design development, we are figuring out how to make these planes that have the picture of the vertebrae. This is a sacral vertebrae, and so we have to go to user preferences and activate an add-on. User preferences, we want to go, I think it's export import, and then here's the import export the Blend4Web one. I think once we add I think it's not executable, a zip file. Once we add the zip file and click install from file, that's how we get this add-on. It's on Blend4Web's website. But there's also I think it's import images as planes, or either import or export images as planes. And I'm just looking. I'm just checking this out. I'm scrolling down just to see. I think it's either import or export images as planes. So we click to activate it. I'm not doing that right now. But so we click on that, and then once we click on that, we want to make it shadeless. There should be a feature to make it shadeless. So that's just how we can get images as planes, and then we can just work around with rotating it, and then just adding the different angles to it. But that is just how a little bit of the process of our game design that we've made for the game. Images as planes, it's an add-on. So here we're not in the edit edit portion of the anatomy pal. We're in the actual URL link as if we were a viewer. So we're here. We have the test file, but I want to show you something before. Here we have that interactive that I was talking about. Say you're designing a website, you use a plugin on WordPress. This is called Megavisor plugin. You can view objects in greater detail. It's kind of like what Blend4Web Player does. Here's a sacrum that you can kind of like 360 spin, rotate, and look at the different parts. It's a better way that you can study. So let's click on the test file, and Blend4Web Player comes up. It's connecting. Here's it's loading, and let me just rotate it, and that's just how it can be embedded. So thank you. This is the conclusion of our video.